Hello and welcome everyone. So today we are doing something a little bit different and we're playing some Dyson Sphere program. For people who've never played this, the objective is to build a big old like ring sort of scenario around a star so that you can harvest energy out of it. It's a bit Factorio-y. Personally, I prefer this to Factorio for a bunch of reasons, and I've put like more time into this than I'd really care to admit to, as it is mildly shameful. So, because I can't commit to anything and love to duplicate my own work, then I'm going to be starting a new save just for streaming. It's the kind of thing where if you put it down for like a week or so and you haven't made notes about what you were doing, then you can sort of run into problems with just remembering what you were up to. I've got a little bit of time before I have to go off to like my evening class, and my lovely wife should be home in about an hour or so. So hopefully we'll have a pretty good time up until now. Now, I've put, so just to shamelessly plug something for a hot second, for the people who don't know, I'm having surgery in July and I won't be able to work. The surgery itself's kind of expensive, and it's one of those, I really hate to do this, and it's not something I'm going to bring up very often, but if you do choose to support the stream, then just know that that's where that's going. Yeah, I'll be off work for probably a couple of months, just while I'm recovering, and yeah, just if you feel like you want to support the stream, that's, yeah, like I said, that's where that's going. Anyway, now that that's out of the way, let's get started. Right, so, yeah, seems fine. I'm playing with Dark Fog on as well, so I know what I'm doing. It's almost certainly not true, but
the unknown.
So the plot here is basically that you are a robot. Here we are, who is working for sort of this centralized like AI sort of scenario to generate like information blocks, so like science blocks, or like your science stuff, like the Factorio equivalent. I've always preferred this sort of a thing to say Minecraft, etc. Just because I like struggle a little bit with setting my own goals, etc. And this sort of gives me a little bit more direction of like where we're going with that. So first step is to unlock a technology via pocket crafting. So I need 20 electromagnets or mag rings for this. I get the terminology wrong all the time. So you need magnetic rings for this. This one iron ore makes one magnet. That's a 2-to-1 ratio. So right, so I think that's probably enough of that. Let's get started with the actually, nah, screw it. Let's get some of this on board. Yeah, I love that I told it, no, don't pop up pop-ups, and it's gone. Nope, doesn't matter, never happened. Okay, so I needed 10 of these. So let's go. So there's a fair bit of waiting around that happens here. So got a little bar here for core energy. You generate a little bit just obviously like just for sitting around, but your movement etc drops significantly if you just let it run. Like if you let it run out, there's going to be a lot of looking around for sources of fuel. So while that's all happening, I'm gonna keep filling my pockets up with coal, which is good for humanity, don't you know? Let's
replication complete.
Already finished there. So it makes 2 at a time. So I've done well more than I need. But so yeah, so we're just gonna get started by setting up the basics of like logistics and assembling and like smelting and things of that nature.
Research complete.
So it's unlocked mining machines, which is nice. So yeah, why get something else to do it? Why do it yourself when you can get something else to do it? So first thing we're going to need is some power. So let's put down a tower. Probably want to do it fairly close to an iron ore vein. So we've got some iron copper pretty well nearby. Let's chuck that down over there. Mining drone, go get him, Tiger. So connect that to some power. So what do we need for next step in this is basic logistics. So you need circuit boards and cogs, which probably means that we want to get like smelting before that. So that's getting circuit boards. So I've got 10 left over from my miscalculation. So that's at least one thing taken care of. As for the rest, circuit boards. Open up the fabricator. So get let's do that again because I'm almost certainly going to need more circuit boards. And you need another mining machine as well. So just yoink all of that out of there. The fabricator's already hard at work. Plenty more iron ore. How's everyone doing today, chat? Yes, for the absolutely none of you who are watching at this time, gotta
Replication complete.
start out somewhere, I guess. So cool. Let's make 3 of these, and I've just used up all my circuit boards like the fool that I am. Being gated off by iron. Yeah, the miners certainly aren't going to go to waste, but I am absolutely going to want to like outsource that at some point.
Replication complete.
So cut out some of the immediate problems.
Insufficient materials.
So let's have some of those. Let's get this research started and activate. I don't have enough magnets in the inventory. Let's do that again. Yeah, that's a lot faster. Insufficient power. So, we'll eventually have like assemblers set up to generate things like this, but Overall, like I've found that unless you've got like a combustible fuel shortage where you're physically located, then it's usually faster to just go straight for thermal power. But thermal power requires blue science. Blue science probably will mean that I want to achieve a circuit board and magnetic ring production line first. And yeah, so I think probably we go for basic logistics first. Cool. So more circuit boards. Even though I have smelters now, I don't have the transport belts to be able to put those in effectively at this time. So right, so we want circuit boards and cogs. Let's do that there, and let's get 10 of these as well. Yeah, it picks up and it's fun, I swear.
Insufficient materials.
So let's get a few more of those. So this can just tick along. So now build smelter. Yes, wow, thank you so much. Wonder if I can turn that tooltip off. Gameplay. Container dismantling. Go to the Milky Way. Process tutorial tips. Only show necessary tips. I updated a little bit of stream to show like the now playing tab. I do, however, want to see whether the second window that I have open will accidentally capture. No, I think we're all good.
Research complete.
Yeah, it's a bit of a janky like system that I devised for this. It's sort of like it's a window capture, which means that the moment I start doing something in that window, it'll blank out the what I'm doing. So right, yep, thanks. And yeah, occasionally you just want to see whether everything is working properly. So let's yeah, seems fine. Right. So now that we've got that, we'll get a smelter happening. Now I know from experience that you always want to allow for more space than you think you're going to need. Let's get an inserter there, and we're making copper bars. Now these things suck down power like nothing on earth, so let's add some wind turbines in there. God, I'd forgotten how slowly construction drones move at the start of the game. In terms of what I want to assemble first as part of the production line, transport belts and inserters, absolutely. They just make your entire life a lot easier if you can automate that away. Okay, now let's do the same for iron. Yeah, because iron and magnets use the same source for different like consumables. When I get there, I'm going to put a splitter in, and later on add a second miner here. Speaking of miners, so need more Tesla towers already, as foretold. So, see what I can grab in terms of upgrades at the moment. So, I have 20 of each. Yeah, so anything that requires non-science block sorts of
Replication complete.
sorts of materials can't be automated away. You basically have to pocket craft them. But still, got to get there eventually. So the mecha core upgrade will let me have like more gas in the tank, basically. The rest of it isn't super relevant right now, but when we start having dark fog sort of stuff come into it, then we'll have to put a little bit more effort into that. So huge upgrade tree here. Right, so basic assembling. Put that in queue next. So let's expand the power grid here. Use one of the other miners that I have on deck. I don't want this to go anywhere just now, because I'm basically just going to be using the coal that's mined to just jam straight into the fuel chamber of the mech. So need 10 cogs for the next part of it. Yeah, so as this bar fills up, we'll get closer to a dark fog attack, which at the start you can just fend off by standing your mech near it and letting the auto targeter take care of the rest. But as we get further into it, the planetary base starts leveling up, and the attacks start getting larger, so you really do want to set up some defensive stuff. So, assembling machines. Beautiful. So, so this will let us automate away a bunch of different stuff. So, for starters, I definitely want plenty of transport belts. Transport belts require iron and cogs. So, cogs get assembled directly out of iron ingots. So let's rotate the camera real quick. So to that end, the way I'm going to do it is by having effectively a main bus of raw materials, and it will draw materials directly from that. You sort of start getting this almost like pipe sort of scenario where you have to factor in how many different directions the belt's going in, and the relative like fluid pressure of each of those. Yeah, there's only so much that can be jammed onto a single belt, as it turns out. So yeah, with that done, we'll get an assembler happening for cogs, and need a inserter for that as well. So get that going. It's power radius. Cool. So what are we researching next? So here. So fluid storage encapsulation isn't used for a while, so I don't think that has to be sort of high on the list. all of this sort of stuff requires like blue science. So thermal power, blue science. So I guess we gotta. Okay, so electromagnetic matrices. So let's overproduce these again, and same here. Longer term, once I've got that split bus sort of scenario happening here, and a second, yeah, actually we can just put a smelter in now. Magnets there. So this will just mean that I don't have to fabricate magnets as magnets themselves as a prior item. I can just take care of that. So circuit boards require iron and copper in a 2-to-1 ratio. So to accommodate that, as well as all of the other various things that get made out of that, I want to bring these buses a lot closer together. Yeah, automating transport belts over the short term is going to be like quite helpful. So considering that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab all of the prefabricated gears out of here and build a couple of transport belts in my pocket so that I can insert a like a cogs bus here.
Replication complete. Insufficient materials.
Inserters as well. This because of the distance here, it will insert faster than it insert materials in faster than it inserts materials out onto the bus. But at the moment, I'm not super concerned about that. If I wanted to correct that, I'd probably put in an additional inserter to export materials, because this one has 0.75 trips per second, and that is literally double that. So 2 inserters out per 1 inserter in keeps the flow rate of that optimal. So I'm going to cogs there. Again. So yeah, because of that, so yeah, there's transport belts is one of the things that you use most.
Insufficient materials.
So getting that up and running quickly is really, really important. Okay, so
replication complete.
So assembler complete, right. So this is slightly bad praxis, but let's extend that a little bit.
Insufficient materials.
More insert. Let's just make 5 of the suckers. Chuck down another
replication complete.
tower here. Go. So it is here. Need to extend that slightly. I think just not quite there. Oh, it could be. Yeah, there we go. Cool. Now, because this so transport belts require 2 iron per 1 cog, I'm actually fine with that being in the ratio that it is. So again, these get inserted twice as fast. But yeah, as you're possibly starting to notice now, that isn't keeping up. So over the short term, because smelters require stone, which I've got access to. It's sort of, I think I saw a vein sort of over this way vaguely. Like that's cool, good and fine, but it's a production line I'm not really looking to do right now because I'm looking to invest a bit more into science. Yeah, it's really easy to get sidetracked here. So I think so. Basic logistics, yeah, that's depot management as well. But yeah, so stone product I think gets smelted into. Yeah, let's see. So stone blocks get smelting facility into stone bricks. So I can head over there and start pocket crafting them right now, which would also sort of solve a little bit of a problem that I've got. But so plasma control, right? So that's more advanced electricity sort of stuff. Yeah, it's definitely science. Science. Yeah. So how much finished resources something can hold is basically acts as a little bit of a cap. So let's I don't have enough iron, because of course I don't. So because I want that iron ore out of my pocket, I'm just going to manually grab one of those. Then I can craft it, and that'll get rid of that there.
Replication complete.
Beautiful. So let's put that over here. I probably don't need 30 stacks of it, so let's cap that at 5. You use a incredible number of transport belts. Okay. And yeah, yeah, I'll be ripping this part out because that's part of the gameplay loop at some point. Yeah. So let's put down our matrix lab, which is sort of like, it's a science facility, somewhere over here where it's just nice and out of the way for now. That also gives me a target to build towards when doing that. So yeah, blue science requires mag rings and circuit boards. So mag rings require magnets and copper. So my my copper bus is over here. Again, I'm not being too fussy about where I'm putting things right now, which will be to my detriment as things start crossing over each other. But yeah, over the shorter term, I'm sort of happy to take the L there.
Insufficient materials.
So let's grab a stack of this. Okay, so we're starting to have like power supply problems. So that's why we're building towards thermal power. So didn't start off the inserters. There's going to be a lot of that. Longer term, I'm going to want to automate inserter production as well, but that requires circuit boards. So so we're kind of accomplishing two things at once here. Okay, so right, let's go like that and join those together.
Insufficient materials.
So let's just go like that for now. ourselves some more transport belts. So, yep, whenever we're quite ready. Actually, where are we at in terms of... Okay, so I haven't unlocked universe exploration. That will be well and truly quickly on the list.
Replication complete.
So, okay. So, in my experience, this is hard-earned experience. It kind of sucks. You typically want your gears, mag rings, circuit boards, and iron and copper to be like on sort of parallel buses, so that you can just scoop things off into assemblers where possible. But I'm going to make a choice that's no doubt going to age really poorly and just chuck a assembly machine there. So that driving straight past. No, that's not going to work. Okay, so what did we say? Circuit boards, right. And I've connected up the wrong thing. Classic. Okay, talk amongst yourselves. Let's go like this. Okay, yeah, okay. So I just set the wrong recipe there. Whoops. Okay, magnets. Magnets! It's all good with magnets. You can do anything with magnets. Okay. Okay, just so that I'm not having a crap load of magnets just sitting around in my inventory, I'm just going to chuck them back onto the belt. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of that. Realizing that I've put down the wrong thing. Going to correct the ratio there so that it's not waiting around on constituent components for longer than it has to. And let's go like that. Got a bit of a bad habit of not rotating the camera, because most of my early Dyson Sphere program stuff was done on my MacBook, which is you know, not a gaming computer by any stretch of the imagination, and on a trackpad, and so. It's middle click to rotate the camera on like just in terms of the general interface, and you can't middle click on a MacBook. It's just not a thing. So so the way I was doing it was kind of just taking as good a view as what I could, and then anytime I had to rotate the camera, I was using the flight feature that you unlock a little bit later to change the angle of the camera. God, I feel like I'm telling on myself here. Waterboarding wouldn't get this out of me usually. And yeah, just kind of taking it from there. So now that we've done that, so circuit boards are iron and copper. So I'm perfectly content to have to change this at some point. But let's go like this, and then let's go that. Yeah, see what I mean about like using up like an absolutely incredible number of like transport belts, which is bloody amazing. Okay, so sort of starting to run into some problems here with like iron production, which is again a hell of my own creation, like a lot of things in my life. So to deal with, let's jump into the production values right now. So so I'm producing iron twice as fast as I'm utilizing it, and I'm producing about half as much iron ingots as what I need. So we're going to correct that by getting another smelter down. So fortunately having enough stone bricks still in inventory to be able to do that.
Insufficient materials.
More Tesla towers. And yeah, this is also part of the issue of you know, you start oh, well crap. Like you start having like transport belts running everywhere. I'm happy to deal with this by effectively just adding a extra like outlet for this that effectively bypasses this section. It can create issues of scalability, but all of this stuff's going to have to be refactored when I'm scaling it up later anyway. So so whatever the problem is, it will end up being temporary, as all things tend to be. Just ignore the problem until it goes away. Or ignore the problem until you can't ignore it any longer. So yeah, don't take life advice from me. It's just you know, I'm training to be a social worker. Don't take my advice. Okay, so just expand that a little bit. And inserters, that's the name of the game. Yeah. So, predictably. Okay, cool. Probably time to pocket craft some more iron ingots, I think. Okay, so how are we doing in terms of power? Okay, so running about half as much as I need. At this point, I think I'm just gonna take the L in terms of the undervolting of the rest of the factory, and yeah, just learn to live with it over the short term. So more inserters required. Yeah. So yeah, this is what I mean about all of this, like X requires Y, Y requires Z, sort of stuff, meaning, you know, as much as I want to automate this away much faster than I can actually produce things, which are, you know, rules for life, I guess. Right, so while that's getting started with doing all that, okay, so you require more inserters, so that's copper, which I've got plenty of, and also iron ingots. Right. Cool, and we're going to go like this. yeah, all of this is going to end up being scaled up really significantly. So now we're producing that. Now the other side of the matrix lab supply line is that you have basically one matrix lab that produces science and one that spends it. So let's get another matrix lab happening. I could just be pocket crafting science right now, but this sort of solves the problem over the longer term. I can rip those matrices out as well and just use them to pocket research, but so need glass for that. Glass just requires stone. So I don't think that was one of the items that I needed for this. Yeah, I've got enough of that. Okay, so now that we're making circuit boards, and I can pick up a bit of extra iron over here, most likely. Yep. Just thieving a few circuit boards off of here. Let's make another matrix lab. To do that, let's also
Replication complete.
more inserters.
Insufficient materials.
Okay. Short-term solutions, you love to see it. Okay. So all of this is moving really, really slowly because I don't have enough power supply. So just to make sure that we don't spend all year here, I'll pocket craft a couple more wind turbines. So let's grab a stack of those as well. Board. Okay, fabricating wind turbines. Yeah, which yeah. Again, my experience is that
Replication complete.
they're not worth mass constructing because they become obsolete really quickly. Sometimes you end up on planets later on in the game that require like don't have a source of combustible fuel, and it's not cost efficient to start shipping it across the solar system. But that is very well down the road at this point. Okay. So, starting to run out of power, so just pilfering off a little bit of that. Beautiful. So, I assume at some point that I'm going to want to start utilizing that science, which are great. So I believe there was mention of thermal power plants as well, so let's do that. So this is, yeah, starting to run into there's like inserters are moving so slowly, etc. It's moving at about 40% of how fast it should be. So let's see. Let's not use items in inventory, and that'll be done in about 30 seconds. So we can use that time to pinch some more of that. Pinch some stuff out of here as well.
Upgrade complete.
So, universe exploration. Okay, so this gives us a bunch more filters over here. Turn on vein distribution, which typically ends up always on for me, and this can help you identify whether you've got any issues with your power grid as well. Ideally, all of these circles should be blue. So, power. Yeah, so we've got 7 that are generating 2.1 megawatts, and if we jump into the tech tree again, the thermal power plant generates basically all of that with just one. To start scaling that up, I will absolutely have to set up a production line for that. But yeah, I'm fine with that. Right. So really not a lot else to do until then, other than to decide what else we want to spend money on. So as you might have seen, we're moving around the map pretty slowly. Mechanical frame requires electric motors. Electric motors are, I think, over here. Yeah, so that's, yeah. And they're a composite of magnet rings, cogs, and iron ingots. So, I find belt-based logistics to be very frustrating, because it really requires you to be organized, and I am personally anything but. Some point pretty soon I'm going to want to start thinking about defensive potential as well. So there's a whole stack of technologies over here, but again, I've found that it's not worth sinking huge amounts of resources into at this stage anyway. If you start being a little bit slow out of the blocks to kick planetary bases out, then that starts to cause some preliminary issues, but we are well and truly not there yet. Okay, so I think I want to start moving my coal production out this way. You'll notice a little bit of a wobble in the transport belt structure there, but that's because planets are circular, so every so often it's less bad the closer you get to the equator, but they like it can mess with your blueprints if you have blueprints that span meridian lines. So
insufficient materials.
That happening. Let's get these happening. That's a bit more like it. Okay, and just like that. So, all of that is now working a lot better. Coal as the fuel. Okay. So, not researching anything at the moment. So, where do we want to go next? Probably upgraded logistics, maybe? So, combustible units are used in weapons manufacturing. Smelting purification lets you manufacture silicon out of stone deposits. So, crucial to note here, right? So, there's no silicon or titanium on this planet. That will require me to take a look a bit further afield. So, welcome to the solar system. So, kind of orbital bodies we've got here. So we've got the G-type star, Scorcadia, which is probably a lava world. Yep, so that'll require me to I think further information requires me to have universe exploration too, but not quite done with that there. And further out, I think they'll... So, oh, we're orbiting around an ice giant. That's kind of cool. And that will also probably be an ice world. And yeah, there are also relay stations up orbiting around all of these. So it's not something you have to worry about like at this point, but it's something that's worth considering the further you get in, as to where you're going to put your factories. If you're not looking to kick out the planetary base straight off the bat. Okay, so now that that's all over and done with, just going to steal a stack of these now as well. So that I'm not coming back to this, probably just going to nick a couple of... just nick a stack there and make up, let's see, I think it's the stone that's kind of cutting the legs out from under me right there, but building out the power infrastructure to accommodate future needs will really help with just making sure I don't have to start running from one thing to another. So let's steal some magnets. Okay. So I think so I've got crude oil seeps over here. So that's kind of the... speaking of, right, so they're coming from that direction, so they're going to impact the science part of the factory pretty soon. I do have a second to get myself over there as well, so yeah, not too worried at this point. So these all go together with strings of inserters. They do each, I think. No, that works. So, but yeah, because of that, probably do want to have an extra inserter there, just so they're working in an energy surplus. Ah, no. Okay. Come on. Come on, go get him, Tiger. Breaking my stuff. Okay. So, right, what have we got? Okay, just got some logs. Right, they are not really useful for anything. I think there's one technology that uses it. Where is it? Instruction marking blueprints. Yeah, there we go. So so energy circuit just lets you extract power from fuel a bit faster. So not really something I'm looking to invest into at the moment. That's mostly relevant when you're using it for like flight purposes. So we're not okay. So we're not making anything right now. So that said, what's required for universe exploration 2? Okay, so because I'm a little bit nosy in that regard, I'm gonna do a technology and then I'm gonna do universe exploration. So I think, yeah, I think it's probably motor production next, and then engines, and then universe exploration. step on the gas pedal a little
Insufficient
bit.
materials.
Come on. Yeah, basically have to do it 2 by 2, and then so adding 1 here for every one you do here, and then you start running into issues with primary material scalability, and it starts causing you a big headache all across your factory. Ask me how I know. Okay, so speaking of scaling, I think the next thing I want to do is set up like a stone production line. It's all going to get utilized now. I don't think that's what's going to gate me off. So, okay, so I'm running a little bit low on transport belts there. So magnets and iron, and predictably they are on different belts. A really hacky way you can do it is to have an inserter that goes from one belt to another, but you'll start tying yourself in knots real quick with that.
Insufficient materials.
Yeah. In the interim, I'm just going to pocket craft those in there. Stone blocks, I think, are made from that. Alright, so in the same fashion as
Research complete.
Iron being used for both iron ingots and for basic magnets, going to have a single bus that goes in 2 separate directions, but because we've got the overarching goal of making arc smelters right now, and for that we need bricks, then yeah, so initial stage is just going to pocket craft some. So having very intelligently used up all of my magnets, let's just grab all of those.
Insufficient materials.
So let's build out all of those.
Insufficient materials.
Classic. So let's go bricks here. Inserter.
Replication complete.
Yeah. Well exceeding demand. Love to see it. So, for arc smelters, so we need main bus materials as well as stone bricks. So, to accomplish that, I'm going to do a bit of a no-no and start overlapping belts. This will get real complicated real quickly. But to a greater or lesser extent, I'm actually fine with that. Oh, that's going to take forever. Okay, so as a result of that, I'm going to do the exact thing that I said I was not going to.
Insufficient materials.
Okay, GIF. So, fortunately, having made a whole bunch of stone bricks there. Oh no, I need like actual stone, don't I? Right. Making glass. So 2 of those. Let's yeah, while we're on the subject,
Installation complete.
lack of forward thinking and planning here to bite me in the bum at some point, but that's the game. Love it.
Insufficient materials.
Oh, do I need vertical construction for that? I might actually. Yeah, and that requires blue science. Sorry, red science. Oh no, I can do one layer of vertical construction with no issues. Okay. Okay, congratulations. You doubled our science throughput. So, I was a little bit reluctant to do vertical construction when I started playing, because I thought you basically had to do a layer of transport belts for every adjacent level, but no, it's just a really intelligent way of using 3 dimensions to expand your capability. So now we've done all of that. So so considering, so how are we going in terms of our general production? Okay, so still producing more ore than I'm consuming the smelters, but producing less iron than I'm probably going to need going forward. Yeah, so if everything's sort of running at maximum efficiency, then you start yeah, so that's siphoning off a lot of that. I think we can probably just close that off. But yeah, because you're not making transport belts all the time, and that's basically what's taking up all of the gears right now. I'm not too worried about that. So, yeah, when that supply box fills up and when this starts capping out, then the reference rate of ingots is going to drop fairly significantly. Right. So where do I want to put it? So I think that, yeah, I'm like 99% sure they're assembled. So smelters, yeah, made in an assembler. So we've got our main bus over here. Let's start expanding that to looping over this way. Yeah, in general, anytime you've got belts that are overlapping or snaking back on themselves, etc., it's a sign that your logistical planning's kind of bad. But yeah, guilty as charged. I don't know what to tell you. So considering that, okay, is that my main iron bus? Yes, it is. The other thing I'm going to want to do at some point is to have an assembler for sorters and probably an assembler for assemblers as well. But all of this is all getting set up for by me building out this sort of bus network a bit more efficiently. I think there's slightly too many elements to this, but
Upgrade complete.
Okay, ore reserves in the planetary system. Love it. So, I might, yeah, I'm kind of loath for this, but I might actually delay automatic arc smelters until such time as I've got like drone logistics on board, because it just seems like I'm bringing stone over for like no real like good reason, I guess you'd say, and it'll just end up clogging up this entire scenario, which is already a little bit complicated. So yeah, I'm gonna set up the factory so that it sort of runs down this way, which on some level is duplication of work. But cool. So it's almost time to go take a break. So let's just take a quick look in the rest of the solar system and see what we're dealing with. Okay, so we're orbiting around a gas giant. Let's just get that oriented correctly. So around a gas giant, which is fire, ice, and hydrogen. So fire ice is going to make my graphite production later a lot more efficient, but I will have to have a gas giant harvesting to really affect that. So as expected, this is sort of like a desert sort of planet sort of scenario. I had hoped that it would be like a lava planet, because you can basically use that as a power plant. C'est la vie. So that's got titanium but no silicon. On the other hand, there's like a lot of like wind and energy to be found there, so I can probably just set that up as a power plant world. But you know, problems for future me. Okay, that's where the money is. So fair bit of silicon. Oh, it's actually, the solar system is a bit sparse on silicon, which is not ideal. And I think for additional like clusters, so say looking over here, for instance, you need universal exploration like 4. So let's get some stuff in the pipeline, and then we'll go take a break. Drone flight speed. Energy shield doesn't really help me right now, but it's nice and quick to knock off. So blueprinting will make this entire process a lot easier. So let's go flight construction drone flight speed and start knocking out things like this. And semiconductor materials. Okay, so at this point in time, we've been going for a bit over an hour, so it's time for a break. Let's come back in like 10 minutes or so. So everyone go stand up, stretch your legs, cycle your fluids, go pat the cat, say hi to the loved ones in your life, and we'll be back in a hot second for a bit more of this before I gotta get out of here. Okay, talk to you in a sec. Bye bye. Okay, let's get back into it. So, you know, checked in with the cat. Sylvia is doing really well. She's a cuddly girl, even if she did get a little bit annoyed at me that I picked up the dog's bowl so that she couldn't just eat straight out of it. The dog's on painkillers, and paracetamol's lethal to cats, so like, you know, she was pretty pissed at me for that, but you know, that's her right. Get a bit of a beverage check happening. We are, like, I'm currently dual wielding a cup of chai tea and a can of sugar-free Solo. Yeah, so yeah, the bio break's a decent opportunity to just kind of take a second and so we've got bit of bottlenecking happening here. It's consuming. For a slow layers, that seems to be going. It does seem to be going. Might have to expand that at some point, but you know, not at the top of my priorities list right now. So it's a decent opportunity to sort of just take a second and think about some things. I think I'm gonna do a coding stream at some point where I work on a bot for chat so that you can do things like putting what drink you are currently drinking in. So, and other cool things you can do with Python. So I'll look into whether we can get that happening. Okay, so let's have a think about what we need to set up in terms of future production. So electric motors are used in like other buildings and machinery. So silicon semiconductors. So one of the things I'm moving towards is upgraded logistics. So let's put that in the queue as well. So distribution logistics over here does require me to have a bit of red science going, so we'll get that happening as we come to it. Red science requires petrochemical sort of engineering sort of stuff. So plasma extract refining is what we'll end up moving towards there. Let's chuck that in the queue as well. We'll end up moving towards energy matrix. Don't have to worry about basic chemical engineering for like sulfuric acid and plastic just yet. But yeah, so what are we going to need to do to get there? So these require plasma exciters. So, which of itself requires steel. Okay, so I'm gonna spin up another iron mining sort of scenario. I've got a small iron vein over there, but a fair bit more over here. So crude oil seep that I don't think I'll utilize just yet because it's quite close to like a lot of other things that I'm looking to utilize more readily than that, but yeah, plenty of options for that. So let's see. Yeah, so I think that's probably the play. That will require extra power infrastructure, so so Tesla units and things of that nature. I think I'll just expand the power grid up this way rather than putting in extra wind turbines. So what have we got in terms of how many of these do we have? 4. I don't think that'll be enough.
Upgrade complete.
So grab all of these. So bit of extra production, like fast speed happening there. So I am probably going to want mech frame happening pretty soon. So so considering that, that's assemblers. So yeah, this part of the game's sort of a bit like scrubbing a floor. Just pick a spot and start. So I'm gonna need logs for like an item of research, but the other component, I guess you'd say, is what is it? It's energized graphite, which is manufactured from coal, I'm pretty sure. So it's not unlocked just yet.
Research complete.
Plasma control. Excellent. So, where is it? Smelting purification. Put that in the queue as well. So, that'll be fairly easy to put together. All things considered. So, so that will require a smelter. Starting to feel a little bit like I got some egg on my face. I'm not a fan of just belts going everywhere, but you know, if you gotta, you gotta. So let's go do that. In terms of getting that happening in such a way as it doesn't start clogging everything up. Let's go.
Research complete.
Fluid encapsulation, excellent. Yeah, like that. If I can get more drones. Communication control. Cool.
Insufficient materials.
No, don't like it. Okay. So, plant matter is a low efficiency fuel. But oh, got organic crystals. That's a rare drop from plants. It's used in yellow science, I think. There's a lot of I think going on here. It really shows that it's been a while since I played. So just steal all of that off the belt. Let's see whether I wonder what the maximum stack size here without doing research is. And another insert here as well. Okay, so considering that, so before we get started like properly, I'm gonna make a assembler, which sounds a bit recursive, but so No, we'll do this first, I think. Okay, so assemblers require iron gears and boards. You can just put buildings down through it, but the products get wasted if you do. So again, I'm going to need logs for one of the upgrades that's coming. So iron, gears, and boards.
Research complete.
So what I'm going to do is basically have 2 lines of belts happening here on each side of the assembler line, each of which is going to output to like a storage depot. Let's go like this. Yeah. Copper buses in the wrong spot. Screw. Right, so to deal with that, I think overall copper's not used that heavily, like a bit further down. So I might cut that short there and just go like this. So I'm not going to bother with the depot for this one because you don't need like stacks and stacks of assemblers just sitting around. I can scale it up a little bit later and that'll be fine. So let's go. That's my iron there. Gears there. And boards. Excellent. Right.
Research complete.
Now we're cooking. Okay. So we're not going for upgraded sorters just yet. Partially because that requires a the not engines, the other one, electric motor production line to really get that happening. And yeah, though they would be useful in terms of like just boosting the throughput. Anytime you boost the throughput into various machinery, you start causing supply line problems down a little bit further down. So that's not a problem that I'm looking to create at this exact moment in time. I have never managed to get traffic monitors working properly, but that is at least in part a byproduct of just not being interested enough in the process of that, I guess you'd say. So now that that's done, I'm noticing that we're really running short of boards over here. So let's copy that real quick and duplicate that work. Lacking the item there, yeah. Oh boy, am I getting sick of this little mini game here.
Replication complete.
So, speaking of, let's put in
Insufficient materials.
keep running afoul of that. There's a certain amount of space between buildings that you need, but only for certain purposes. So, extend the bus. Yeah, there doesn't seem to be a lot of logic behind those sorts of like arbitrary arbitrary things. So let's grab some of that. So, sorters, and probably only need one stack of that. It's a little bit wasteful, but okay. Gears and boards. Is it? That's ingots and boards. So yeah. Yeah, gonna have to scale this up in just a second as well. So, wireless power towers have a smaller footprint in terms of the amount of power that they supply, but they can project power in terms of the linkage over a longer distance. So you end up ahead in terms of the number of like basic power lines that you have to get happening. So yep, fine with that. You can certainly tell when this is all fired up, can't you?
Research complete.
Okay, so I think it's only one one square that's sort of stopping that. So that's the outlet line. Right, so let's jam one of those in there. Perfect. Absolute cinema. Fabricate more of those. Yeah. So yeah, this is sort of the point where you need to start scaling up because things downstream are starting to eat your components. Sorry, things further up are starting to eat your components. because each of these little suckers kind of chews into power, then can't really like go overboard. And the way that this is configured a bit later is not how it will be configured currently. So not a lot of stress happening there. Okay, so that's got plenty of sorters. So, and not before time. So stack size not happening. Okay, now what else? So as we're looking to move towards like red science sort of shenanigans, may very well have prioritized that incorrectly. So let's see, plasma exciters require prisms, prisms require stone. Is it just stone? No, prisms require glass, glass requires stone. Okay. So that'll probably be its own like split of the production line. So plasma exciter, yep. So yeah, I'll split that off here. I'll create a split probably here as well, and start making plasma exciters a little bit further over here, I think. Yeah, all of this stuff starts getting pretty messy pretty quick. Actually, probably just cut out the middleman fairly significantly there. And go like that. Leapfrog action, you know? Okay, so only probably going to be streamed for another 15 minutes or so, because I have a class to go to, and that starts at 7. So yeah, hopefully we'll get to God, I'm doing real well with words today. Further up, smelting purification, energetic graphite. We should hopefully get to that before we call it quits. It's used in like diamond production, things of that nature. Let's jam that in the queue as well. Steel is used in a bunch of more advanced construction, but because it's it will threaten the integrity of the like supply line here. It will be better off if I build it somewhere else. May end up needing more robust iron over here sooner rather than later as well. Anyway, so we've got basic logistics production down over here. Okay, so what did we say? Plasma exciters. So glass gets fabricated into prisms with replicators. So now I have learnt from experience that prisms are used in other things as well. Yeah, and ask me how I know that. lots of fairly frustrating ripping apart of factories went into that little piece of learning. So let's some assembling of that. Oh, getting there. Need to build that out at some point pretty soon. Okay. May as well do it now. I'm over here, so.
Research complete.
Yeah, feeling like I made a decent choice there. Construction drones happening. Brilliant. Okay, let's go electric motors. Oh, we've got energetic graphite now as well, so let's split some of that off the main coal bus, and that's a smelted item as well. So, thank you to the collision detection there for not making me have a like a foundation under that little puddle. Great.
Upgrade complete.
So now, what do I need for? So it wasn't mechanical frame. It was okay, so I can make mass construction next as well. Yeah, so I think what I'll do next is knock off some of these things that require inventory items, because they will take up a certain amount of time that I just can't really shortcut, and they're gonna have to get done eventually. So okay, so I want to get that done at some point too. So yeah, mech flight lets you get around the map like a lot quicker. So core level 2 requires that. That requires this. Utilization, I think, is well down the list. And structure, huh? Okay, so I think that's, yeah, that's the main points anyway. Going in terms of threat, right? That'll be a hot second. So we're starting to get to the point where red science is something that I'm going to have to actively invest in, but that will end up being a problem for next stream, almost certainly. Cool, so that's sorted, and I need 60 coal as well. Let's pinch a whole bunch of that off of the production line. 60. Grab a stack of this as well. I need 100.
Research complete. The Dyson Sphere program is the only game I've ever played where I've needed to have like a notebook to keep on track. It's just it pulls you in every possible direction. So it requires silicon for microcrystalline components. So the crystalline components end up going into processors, and processors go into logistics drones. Logi drones let you scale up your factory in this incredible way, and I honestly wasn't sold on Dyson Sphere program until I started using those. So, okay, engines. Ingots, cogs, and magnets. Beautiful. Okay, so I had something else that needed, yes, mechanical frame. Taken away. Beautiful. Get a power drop from that? Nah, I didn't. Never punished. And the other thing I needed for that was flight. So I need engines for that. Considering that, I might just pocket craft those, because engines are mostly used in defense research. So I've got engines. So I need 50 of those. I wonder if we can just nick a stack of those straight off the... Yeah, most likely. And it was Upgrade complete.
Magnets as well. So, blueprinting. Let's take a look at this. So these are all ones that I've made to just sort of streamline the process. So if I go like this, it'll set up a mining facility like that, just straight out of a blueprint. So it really cuts down on the amount of duplication of work that you have to do through like inserters, things of that nature. Let's steal all of these. So let's yeah, 150 coal as well. What are you calling insufficient? Yeah, that's just a low energy warning. Yeah, it's not actually harmful. So I think that's all I need logs for. So let's just jam all of those logs into the reactor. And I'm willing to part with the organic crystal as well. Do want those kind of out of the way, just so they're not interfering with the main bus there. Beautiful. So, running the replicator also does take up power. So
Replication complete.
here we go. So I'm not going to get a full tank of gas out of this, but I can live with that. So yeah, it's also an inefficient fuel in that it yields less than its stated rating. So let's just kick around here for a second while this gets its act together. Cool. Right, so that's that done. So inventory capacity, not at the top of my priorities list right now. I don't think I'm looking to go quite that big just yet.
Upgrade complete.
Mechanical frame. You wouldn't think it's a big difference, and it's not, but it's, yeah, it's something. Okay. Yeah, you can see the power drop where I started to take research out of the production line. It's great. Okay, right, crystalline components. Actually, we got time? Yeah, we're at about time. Okay. So I think we're just going to leave it there for now. Thank you for everyone who tuned in. Appreciate you. Let's save and come back to this. Right, stream save 1. Right. Excellent. Right, so thanks for everyone who tuned in. Please have a great day and take care of yourself, and we'll catch you next time.